So a question on quadratic inequalities. It says factorize 6x squared minus 5x and minus 4. And then it says hence or otherwise solve this inequality, 6x squared minus 5x and minus 4, which is less than 0. Now, firstly, let's solve this quadratic expression, which is 6x squared minus 5x and minus 4. And now, I'm going to use the product and the sum method to factorize this. Now, you can also use the inspection method, identify the coefficients of x, but I'm going to show you this method here today. So 6 times by negative 4, that gives us minus 24. So now we need two numbers that add together to give us minus 5 in the middle and multiply together to give us minus 24. So to make 5, I'm thinking 8 and a 3. Because it's minus 5, so this will have to be negative 8. So now I can replace these minus 8x and 3x at the center of this expression. So we have 6x squared. Now, it doesn't matter which way around you write, it should still work. So I'm going to write plus 3x, take away 8x, and minus 4. So now I will factorize both sides. Now to factorize this, we can take out 3x as a common factor. So 3x times by 2x, that gives us 6x squared, and then plus 1. Now factorizing the other side, so negative 4 would be the common factor on the outside. And so minus 4 times by 2x, that gives us negative 8x. And negative 4 times by plus 1 is negative 4. So now that we have two of these brackets the same, so that is a good sign because that's what it should be. So one of our bracket would be 2x plus 1. And then the other one is 3x take away 4. So 3x minus 4 in the other bracket. So that is this quadratic factorized. Now the next part of the question, it says solve this inequality. So we have the same expression here, but then we have this inequality sign. It has to be less than 0. So here we have to find the critical values, or solving same way as solving a quadratic equation. Let's just say if this equaled a 0, and what would be the two solutions? So 2x plus 1 equals a 0. So 2x, so minus 1 from both sides. And then we got x equals divide by 2 both sides is minus a half, or 0 0.5, negative 0 0.5. So that's our one solution. Now the other solution is 3x minus 4, that equals a 0, and then add 4 to both sides. So 3x equals a 4. Then divide by 3 both sides. We have x equals 4 over 3. So these are our two critical values when we are solving inequalities. So now let's sort of sketch a graph and roughly plot these values on the graph. So we have two values, which is minus 0 0.5. So I'm just going to put minus 0 0.5 roughly here, or minus a half. So let's write down minus a half, since the other one is a fraction as well. So minus a half. And then the other one is like 4 over 3, which is like roughly on this side over here. So these are the solutions if that was a quadratic equation. So now if we sketch the graph, it's going to be a U-shaped graph, okay? So the U-shaped graph should look something like this. And then we have to solve the inequality. It says it's less than the 0. So less than the 0 means we are interested in this part of the graph. So which x values give us that part of the graph? Now you can see from here, okay, the x value, it has to be less than 4 over 3, but bigger than minus a half for the graph to be less than 0. So we can write this down. So x has to be less than 4 over 3, but it has to be bigger than minus a half for the graph to be below 0. So the last part is really important to understand, and that's why the sketch of the graph is really useful here. Now, if this sign was the other way around, then we would be interested in this top part of the graph over here. So the answer would be the x has to be bigger than, so bigger than the 4 over 3, and it will have to be less than minus a half. But since we are interested in this lower part of the graph, which is less than the 0, so this one is the correct answer for this question.